Hello, I'm live for the hour. I'm going to be doing some readings for whoever would wish today. It is St. Patrick's Day. It's March the 17th. Happy St. Patrick's Day, and may the earth rise to meet you, and forget the rest of it. But I love the Irish blessing. About a year ago, I was actually in a little over a year ago. I was in Ireland giving a retreat there with my friend Matria, and it was absolutely beautiful in Ireland. It is as wonderful, and I'm looking for a better word than mystical and spiritual. I haven't got it, but it's all of that you would want in Ireland, and we had a fantastic time. We were actually in the sort of southwestern area, or the western area for sure, and we there was so much we could see in every single day, because the because of how populated it had been. There's so many monoliths and castles and circles that we could spend time in it. It was absolutely exquisite in Ireland. I'm from England, as you no doubt can tell from my accent. Morning, Emily. And so Ireland looks like England, but without the erasure of spiritual weaving, I would say. In England, there's churches and so on everywhere, but you don't feel so much in there. Even the greater cathedrals, I'm open to I'm open to having my knuckles rapped for saying that, but it's just an observation I make. It was a lot easier to feel the depth of spirituality and spiritual connection in Ireland, and that was nice. I've been to so many places in the world, and in Brazil and so on, and gone to beautiful places and felt many things. So to experience it so close to where I was born was beautiful. Anyway, a little bit of digression there. Forgive me. I'm going to be reading for anyone that would wish. All you need to do is put your questions in the chat, in the comment section here, and I'm just going to go through them one by one. I am live on YouTube and Facebook at the same time here, so I'm just going to do my best to go back and forth. Between as I see questions show up. Was one thing I was going to say, just reflection I had. So I remembered, I had a memory of this week 6 years ago, which was when lockdown was called. I'm sure you remember it. And it was a fascinating time because, yes, there was all of this concern and uncertainty and worry and so on, all of that. But there was this week or two, and I remember it because we just moved house. We'd go outside or go drive somewhere that we needed to do, and people would look at you, as you were in the car or in the street, and eyes would meet, and there was this feeling of connection and of unity. And I'm saying that because I do believe that is how people actually are. And so much effort is going into creating differences between us, between all of us, and putting the cat between the cat and the pigeons and so on, and making us afraid of each other. But when it comes down to it, it is simple unity and connection. That is what the human experience is born from, right? Is born from. And we will get back to that. We will get back to that because it is our natural way of being. I'm not saying it's a quick hop, skip, and a jump. I'm not saying that. But it is our natural way of being, and we will get there one way or another, no matter how many distractions are thrown at us. I just wanted to say that. All right. So... okay, so I'm going to go to Emily first, and Maria, and then Tanya. Let's get some music on. Let's see with my aging eyes if I can read this. Thought I'd wear a darker color so I can actually see the comments on the screen here. Emily, can you provide any insight or guidance? I feel like I'm experiencing anxiety with Alex and our relationship. Should him or I have more in-depth conversations at this point in dating, or will those come up naturally? He's still interested, right? Okay. You know, Emily, I would say, ask for the conversations you want to have. That's what I'm seeing here. You are in your, you know, your. I'm not saying it's yours necessarily, but you're in a sort of little mental spiral there. Please don't take that as a criticism. It's not meant as such. It's just the nature of worry as it comes up, you know, and you know, in a relationship, and in early days in a relationship, you know, one is going to meet one's resistance to it. One's going to meet one's fears about it, and you are right. You're in you know, it's like building a boat for ages, and then you go out on the ocean. It's like shit. What is this? What is this? And it's exactly where a boat is supposed to be, but you've got that. You're trying to find your parameters. You're trying to find your normality, right? And so he also is, but I think you need to be the more verbal one right now to communicate what it is you want, right? You're wanting a type of communication, and you are going to have to ask for it. It's not in a relationship, both have to teach each other what they want so that they can get it, right? It's just the way. It's just the way. He's quite used to being by himself, and so I think I've said enough. I'm just going to share something of my own life, my own experience. When I my first long-term relationship, which was a billion years ago, that was 2004, right? And I'd never had a partner live with me before, and so, you know, while I kept my apartment clean, you know, she came in, she's like, look at, it's filthy behind here, and it's like these lights are horrible. We need to get some like lights on the side, so it was warmer in there. All these things I had never thought of, and just didn't see from my own perspective, and I had to have them shown to me. Okay, all right. Maria, I have a lawsuit in Brazil. When will I receive the payment that is due to me? Okay. Maria, I'm getting 9 months to a year that you'll receive that payment. No, about 9 months to a year. Yes, it's not immediate. I'm not seeing that immediately in the next 6 months. So about 9 months to a year, I'm getting for you here. Tanya, I feel called to. Good to have you on here, by the way. Tanya, I need to add you to the Facebook group for Home Lights, by the way. Okay. I feel called to help each other to heal and would love some guidance with how best to move forward. Right now, I'm feeling stuck. Got you. Got you. Okay. Tanya, while your intention is beautiful, and you are totally keyed in, as it were, to something that's going to be on your path, I'm just going to say, not right now. Not right now. This need to do, right, is is actually an impedance, because the word heal is a nebulous word, right? And it's got too many. It's just like an octopus with all these arms of meanings, right? There's a lot that we can think of. We say the word heal, and heal is something wrong, right? And healing is a natural unfolding. It's a natural unfolding, and we do it from our state of being. So that means we have to embody it first. We become first, then we anything. We become first, and then we anything, because it doesn't actually matter, because it's coming from a place and point of stabilized energy and stabilized expression. So you have some of that process to do yourself. You see, this is why I think you're feeling stuck. Two reasons I think you're feeling stuck, and you can kind of retrofit this, right? One is yes, there's still some of your own to do, and if we're looking outside, we won't see inside, and we slow it down. So take your focus in here first, and what you need, what you're going to do for and with other people, it is quite simply going to happen. And so pull back the need there. The second thing is, I don't think you value yet fully enough what you do through your beingness. Because I'm seeing it right here. It's like all these potentials and possibilities. I know people who can make things happen just by being in the room. Okay, just by being in the room, and without doing Reiki circles, and without modalities, and without doing things like this, they can just make things happen because they are there. And I think all of us are like that. All of us have that, because it's the power of our embodied field will do things, because everyone is a human body and a human field together. And so as you just, there's just a little bit more of your own work to do, just a little bit more, Tanya, and not this whole laborious process. No, because I'm looking at 10s here, not sevens or nines. You get 10s here. You're very close there, but you're trying to skip a step. So don't. And yeah, I think that's. I don't want to dilute what I'm saying here. Okay, Therese. Oh gosh, there's quite a few of you on here. All right, I'll do my best. Therese. I'm struggling to move forward after my mother's passing a few months ago. I'm sorry to hear that, Therese. Condolences to you. He's saying, can you give any insight as how to best move forward? Yes, absolutely. Right. Therese, the moving forward and the new and the next, it's there, right? It's there. But I want to try and explain. It's like it's out my window. I can see my neighbors' houses, right? Just here, and it's like obviously their doors will be locked. But let's just say they text me and said, "Oh, Joshua, I got you something for your birthday," which would be weird because my birthday is in October. But never mind. So got you something for your birthday, and you're going to love it, everything you could possibly want. And it's the other side of this door, and the door is on a timer. The lock is on a timer, right? I'm not going to get, even though it's right there, just across the street. I'm not going to get it until a certain point. And so I want to say to you something a little similar to what I just said to Tanya, for totally different reasons. That if I were to say to you that I could promise you, I don't everything you can want, but I could promise you wonderful things, beautiful things, because I see them, right? Beautiful next, whatever that is, beautiful new next. I could promise you that. Um, but don't. I'm looking for another word, another way of saying don't skip this step, because I just said that and it's not the energy I want to say this in. Don't diminish what you are going through. Don't try and pretend it's nothing. Don't dilute this. Don't think you should be doing better. Don't think you should be speeding it up. Okay? It's there's nothing wrong. That's what I want to say. There's nothing wrong, and it's if we go again, if we go with this word healing, it's healing in its right way. So just because a person, a body has passed on doesn't mean you should just move on as well. So what I would say to you, because I want to answer your question, it's important to bring ourselves to present moment as best we can. And something good to do is literally just look for just sweet things in our world, right? Just beautiful, beautiful. Even if you don't feel it, right? Even if you don't feel it, it's the acknowledgement that there is beauty in our world, there is sweetness in our world, there is life in our world, okay? Whatever it is, and it's just making that silly little connection with it, whatever it is. There is sweetness in the world, there is life in my world, that things matter in my world, and the moment to moment connection and realization of that is what will support you to get to what is there next. Patricia, will I go out with my friends soon from work? If so, is it going to be a long relationship? So, Patricia, I'm getting a yes on you going out with this friend from work, if that's what you choose to do. Of course, I don't see it being a long-term relationship. And I want to be clear. I'm not saying this to upset you or pour water on your fire. Never do that deliberately. Anyway, what I'm saying is for one of you, and I'm feeling like it's him. There is an unresolved sadness and pain there, and that's going to come up sooner than later. Well, we're going to meet that in our partners, aren't we? We're going to meet that. It's just really how ready we are to deal with that part of them when we meet it, isn't it? And I don't think it will be particularly enjoyable for you. This is just what I'm seeing. Okay, Angie. Try and read this. Good afternoon, Joshua. I hope all is well. Our store partners with another small business. Store partners, right, with another small business holding vendor markets. It's our way of supporting other small businesses and giving back. We have been discussing bringing in speakers, but not sure if we'll get the turnout that we need to keep it going. Should we bring in the speakers on metaphysical topics and health and wellness? If we do, should it be a separate event from our market? Okay. So you're asking, should we bring in the speakers? And if you do, will it be a separate event from market? Should you bring? Okay. Then I didn't even get past the first question, Angie. I don't recommend that you do this. I don't recommend that you bring in speakers. Yes, sorry. Let me. Bringing in speakers is a separate event, a whole separate event. Now that looks interesting. That looks interesting, but not trying to do it as part of everything else. Just like too much interference there. No, as a separate thing. That looks. It will create gatherings of different energy and reasons. I like that. Okay, on we go. Natasha. Excuse me. Could I please get guidance for the rest of March and the first week of April? Okay, let me say a couple of things. First of all, the rest of March, I want to say something else, but the rest of March doesn't look like much fun for you. As we get into April, it's a total change, and it looks wonderful, like lovely energy, like the start of new cycles and path open and everything. And so it's just looking choppy. It's looking choppy. Not everything, but it's looking quite choppy the rest of this month, March. To the point that I'd say just, less is more. Less is more, because you do something and there's a reaction. Every action has an equal opposite reaction. Yes, you do something and something happens, and if you do something and something happens, then you have to deal with what happens. And I'd like to see less of that for you for the rest of this month. So that's the first part of my guidance. The second is it's kind of the same as the first. Be really, really clear about what you're doing and why for the next couple of weeks. I do see money showing up from somewhere, but I think with looking at this 3-week section you've asked about, if it were me with this kind of reading, I would be waiting to do things until April. For me, I'm seeing this sort of time right now as experiential rather than an action time. Yeah. Okay. Kelly, does my puppy Zoe still have an earache? And Leanne, I'll go to you next. Yes, Kelly, I do get that your animal has an earache. I mean, I get that it's going to pass, and my only hesitation is, well, do you need to do something about it, whatever? But I feel like it's going to pass. You haven't said it, but you haven't said it, but I feel like it's been going on a while, a little longer than it should have been. You've been picking up on the discomfort. So I don't see anything wrong. I really don't see anything wrong here, other than that. I'm looking at this. If the puppy is still uncomfortable in a week's time, he's take it in somewhere. But yeah. Okay, Leanne. Right. I needed a minute here, Leanne, because there's some contradicting messages. There's nothing wrong with that. We are very within us. We have lots of tensions of opposite. We have lots of contradicting characteristics. Everyone does, and I'm just trying to get a sense of it, because as I'm looking at this, it's messages about action and inaction, action and inaction. When to do something, when to pause, when to do something, when to pause, right? But at the center of this is because you're asking for a message. At the center of this is it's almost not like a message to you. It's a message from you, and a deep part of you is saying it's about being able to do things yourself versus calling others in for support with that, and how you see yourself. Like, do I need support? Can I ask for it? Is there something wrong that I have to ask for it? Okay. And so tangent, but someone whose guidance I trust very much, used to be involved with Unity. He'd always talk about the pause and the listening for guidance, right? We want guidance, we don't stop and listen. And in that pause and in that listening, you will hear, should I do this or should I do that? And it sounds so basic, but that's what's underneath all of this for you. Can I trust myself? Do I have to depend on someone else? That's what's underneath all of this. And why it's taken me so long to answer is, it right now for you, it's a little bit of both. Just a little bit of both. A little bit of both. You can trust yourself, and there are people around to support you, and some that you need to call support from. There's more to say, but that's the essence of it. that's where it is. Okay. Linda. Oh, Linda, it's nice to hear from you. Any insight as to what you can do for your liver, excess mucus, and lymph? I got a book recently. One of the best spiritual medical books I've come across was in the other room. I'd actually, when I get these questions about health, I almost want to just reach straight for that book. But let's see what we've got here for you. Liver, excess mucus, and lymph. Okay. So, what the common theme as I'm looking at this, Linda, is there's a lot of purging going on, and sometimes it's difficult to say. Well, so maybe it should be happening. Purging should be happening. With your liver, the one part of the root there is holding back. It's holding back, and it's holding back strength too. I should just chip in at this point and say, clearly not a doctor, not giving medical advice. I have to say that. So I think support your liver if you. It's not about the quantity you're eating, but it's about I would say breaking up the meals a bit, or eating a little less at a time. Not changing the overall amount, but just eating a little bit less, a little bit more often. Okay. With the mucus, I feel that I almost don't want to get in the way of that. I feel it is an important release. And lymph. You haven't said where the lymphatic issue is, but I'm getting it's around legs. You'll tell me different. So given if I'm right, if I'm correct here, given that's where it is, would you have a look at compression sleeves and heat and cold and so on, just to help draw that fluid through? There is an element of inflammation, but instead of actually, I'd suggest addressing it topically and through cold, right? Through cold and ice and so on to support that. Okay. So what I want to say is with all of what you brought up there, I see release as the common theme. For me, would leave the mucus alone and let it do its thing. But the lymph you can support, I feel, with compression, and liver, like I say, just eating more regularly, but smaller amounts. Yeah. Okay. Catherine. Will you sell the car soon? Yes, I'm getting soon. I'm getting soon. And you're going to want to know how soon, aren't you? I'm seeing in the next month, most two. Yeah. Catherine. Laura. Gosh, you've asked a couple of questions there. A couple of things. What can I lean on for strength for the huge transition I'm preparing? I'm moving in the right direction to step into who I truly am and stepping into my soul's purpose. Beautiful question. Also, a meteor just hit Northeast Ohio. What does it mean for those of us nearby? Was it really a meteor? That's pretty cool. Let me go to the first question first. Right. If I had longer to talk to you about this, which I'm not trying to make you do, it's not that the support isn't there. It's about you unlearning some concerns you've learned. And it's hard to move forward when you're bringing with you, well, this could happen, or that could happen, that could happen. Now, prepare for a journey. Yes, of course. Prepare for change. Prepare to become different, right? Prepare to grow. Absolutely, absolutely. The trouble is, Laura, you are holding an equal space, possibly larger, for what you're concerned about as for what you want to happen. And to move forwards, we've got to have a lot more energy going into what we want to happen. And of course, preparation for, well, in case, right? It's just cover your downside. Everyone knows that. And you're being pulled by both directions too much. So just, if I can make this as simple as possible, it's not about being in the right or wrong path. You're on the path. But if you're on the path, you can only walk forward or backwards. You can't do both. And the amount of concern and trepidation you're walking forwards with, and I understand, but that's the nature of how you're doing it is going to be slower and less enjoyable. Okay. So I'm trying to squeeze a longer conversation into just a couple of minutes here. Everyone, forgive my language for a second. I'm just going to say some profanity. Sometimes we just got to say fuck it. We just got to say fuck it and move forwards. And you, politer way of saying it is, you take the step and the staircase appears. You take the step and the staircase appears. Forgive my swearing. I swear sometimes. All right. Right. So that's all the questions I see in front of me. So I want to say thank you all so much for logging on today and joining me and asking questions and trusting me with the answers. I always just like to complete these little sessions by taking a breath. Just if we can all just take a breath together. Answers and solutions, possibilities are there. They can happen. From the tiniest to the greatest, they can happen. But we've got to make the space for that. So I say, take a breath, and we say a prayer for you, for your family, for all that you need, all that you want, all you deserve. Right? We say a prayer for humanity, and so much is possible for us. All right. Well, I wish you a wonderful week, everyone. God bless. Be well. Take care, and I will see you again soon.